The Tommy Campbell Show. Gavin Newsom's back trolling Trump, posting receipts on who Trump keeps protecting, and when you line them up, it's not subtle, it's a pattern. Glenn Quesada, federal corruption and fraud tied to abusing public office, pardoned. Brian Kelsey, campaign finance fraud, pleaded guilty, sentenced, pardoned. Duncan Fordham, healthcare fraud involving federal programs, pardoned. Jason Galanis was tied to a $60 million fraud against the Oglala Sioux Nation. $60 million stolen from a tribal nation. Todd and Julie Chrisley, reality TV celebrities convicted of $36 million in fraud and tax evasion, pardoned. Trevor Milton founded Nikola, pitched as the future of electric trucking. They were going to be Tesla's big competitor. The company hit a multi-billion-dollar valuation and pulled in millions of retail investors, everyday people, not hedge funds. There was a famous Nikola promo video that sent the stock soaring, but the truck wasn't powered. It was rolling downhill, filmed at a strategic angle, while Milton sold investors a breakthrough technology that didn't exist. Milton was convicted of federal wire fraud and securities fraud. Different crimes, different industries, different victims, same ending. Trump has your back because he's one of you. Yay, fraud. But it's not just the fraud Newsom's calling out, because he posted this beauty and it cracked me up.
We are, and if you, in fact, if you look, come to think of it, well, I got to look at this myself. Wow. What a view.
Funny, but not as funny as the ICE agents taking tumbles. I can watch that all day. Thank you for putting cameras in cell phones. The White House posted an image of the Rose Garden, and Newsom was quick to go Dark Newsom and call them out with the correct name. It's savage, I love it. Prompting more fun from others, such as this one, the Olive Garden. And when he trolls hard, I get in on it. Here's some of my contributions. Convict Courtyard, Diaper Deck, Diaper Den, Ballsack Neck Skin Balcony, Adderall Atrium, Temu Terrace, Turd Terrace, Consumers Pay the Tariffs Terrace, or Melania's favorite, the VD Veranda. Which one is your top pick? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe.
I mean, my hope is that we only released these earlier, 2 days earlier. I'm sorry.
Duck is also high in protein. That's an interesting. Duck is a good thing to eat, everybody.
We only released the new vaccine scheduled 2 days ago.
It's so on point that this quack uses a duck for a ringtone, and then Oz takes the call like he's been demoted to Bobby Brainworm's secretary. Trump took a bold stand this week for freedom, specifically the freedom of second graders to drink something with the caloric density of a melted milkshake. By signing the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act, his administration officially ended the decade-long tyranny of skim milk and brought full-fat and 2% milk back into school cafeterias.
It's actually a legal definition, whole milk, and it's whole with a W for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that. We have some milk here. It's been sitting here for 5 days, so it's from the original bottle, and I brought it so the press can have some. You can swig it all out of the Remember the old days when we were kids, everybody shared a bottle? Today we tend not to do that, but if you'd like to, if you trust the person that you're drinking after, it's right here, it's yours, okay? It's semi-fresh, 5-6 days old.
It is so bizarre that he felt the need to clarify that it's not whole, it's whole. It's not like the ones he gets his caddy to sink the putts in at the golf course, it's with a W. And we all still do share a jug of milk in a household. We just don't all drink directly out of it, okay? That was never a good thing. We pour it into a glass, you know, the object that takes you 2 hands to hold. But here we are again with the guy with all his energy claims as he continues to pass out and fart in front of us on television with Kennedy speaking. His voice is about as soothing as a lemon bath after a fall into a blackberry bush. This isn't a wellness revolution. It is a high-fat favor to the dairy lobby. Yes, the reason is simple. The U.S. dairy industry produces way more milk fat than the market actually wants. American cows didn't suddenly discover a passion for productivity, they're being chemically overclocked. The US is one of the last countries still using RBST, a synthetic growth hormone banned in Canada, Australia, and the entire EU over animal welfare and human health concerns. The result is a massive butterfat surplus. Adults have moved toward skim or plant-based options, so instead of adjusting production, the industry found a better solution. Legislate whole milk back into schools and turn 30 million kids into a human sink for industrial overstock. Now compare that to countries that treat food policy like public health instead of waste management. Canada's National Food Guide emphasizes water and plant-based proteins. Their childhood obesity rate is around 12%, and they live 3 to 4 years longer than Americans. Australia recommends low-fat dairy for anyone over age 2. Life expectancy there is over 83. In the US, life expectancy is hovering around 77, and childhood obesity is pushing 20%. Sorry, I say 77. I look at Trump going, what's going on here? Come on, let's go hamburgers. Kennedy actually posted this AI video, and the entire campaign is as wrong as this thing that looks nothing like him. Where are the genes? Come on. Is it just me, or is the Trump administration getting all their slogans from old Peter North films? What is going on? Now, when my doctor flagged my cholesterol, I didn't wait for a Maha press release. I just did the math on my 2 cups a day habit between cereal and coffee. Switching from whole to skim, cut about 140 calories a day, roughly 51,000 a year. That's nearly 15 pounds of fat without drugs, without dieting, without adding in a single workout. I just stopped drinking liquid gold. 2 cups of full-fat milk every morning is the fat equivalent of eating a 6-ounce sirloin steak for breakfast. I realized my kitchen table didn't need to double as a Texas Roadhouse. If I'm going to eat that much fat, I want it on a plate on date night, not in a glass before work. There's also a reason countries with national health care about this stuff. When the government pays for bypass surgery, it suddenly gets very interested in preventing it. And if we're talking about making America healthy again, we have to talk about the movement's obsession with raw milk, which is just gambling with your organs. Pasteurization isn't industrial interference. It's one of the most successful public health interventions in human history. It kills E. coli, salmonella, and listeria without changing the milk's nutrition. Raw milk doesn't contain magical probiotics. What it contains is a chance of kidney failure. People literally just died from E. coli tied to food outbreaks, but sure, let's just ignore doctors and scientists and listen to the frog-throated guy on Trump's payroll who chainsawed a whale and planted a bear in Central Park. Pasteurization doesn't take away nutrients. It takes away the chance you spend a week in the ICU. You can follow the whale chainsaw logic if you want, just understand there's a real chance you won't be around to vote next time.
Look at what it says. It says F ICE. You have these individuals who are putting their middle finger, proudly so, at the camera. People don't do this without encouragement from people in power who make them feel like it's okay.
People in power that make it seem like it's okay? What, you mean this guy? This is what he did to a union auto worker that called him out for being an Epstein Air frequent flyer. A pair of verified GoFundMe pages for TJ Sabula crossed 800 grand, and even includes a hefty donation from professional wrestling manager Jim Cornette, who posted, "If anyone knows TJ Sabula, I have a thank you and a handshake and a check for 5 grand ready for him." Donations are closed on both GoFundMes with a note thanking people and encouraging donations to others. Hey, I've been hammering Trump and the right-wing crazies for years, and I just get a trickle of tips here. So if you're looking to help someone out, drop me a PayPal or a super thanks so I can keep this independent show going. Now, you know when Lauren Boebert heard about a wrestling donation, she got nervous. How will I spend this if it's Sweet Stan Lane? The guy my ring rat mom told me was my dad. Yes, that is Sweet Stan Lane with Cornette, and he's not her father. Dare to dream, Bobo. First Jesse Ventura, now Cornette. We need more people from the wrestling world pitching in. Not you, Lyndon McMahon. You suck.
And for Canada to build our own competitive EV sector, we need to learn from, partner with, and access and build supply chains with China. To help deliver on the full potential of these partnerships and to bring down costs for Canadians, we're going to start by allowing up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into the Canadian market at the most favored nation tariff rate, which is 6.1%.
This quota allows Chinese EVs to account for roughly 3% of vehicles sold in Canada. And here's the key part. Because these cars are priced so aggressively, think BYD models already dominating Mexico and Europe, they are fantastic. The federal government is expected to withhold all purchase incentives. So these EVs will have to compete on their own merits. That saves Canadian taxpayers millions in subsidies while giving working families access to genuinely affordable electric cars. Yes, and this is where Trump's trade war really exposes itself. His own biggest donor's company is the perfect example. Technically, Chinese-made Teslas could qualify under Carney's quota, but Trump's tariffs have already turned Tesla's Canadian business into a logistical nightmare. To avoid Canada's 25% retaliatory tariffs on US-made goods, Tesla was forced to reroute its entire supply chain through Giga Berlin. Instead of driving cars north from California or Texas, Tesla is now shipping Model Ys across the Atlantic from Germany to avoid a $20,000 price hike. Let that sink in. Trump's America First trade policy has made American manufacturing the most expensive option for selling cars next door. While the U.S. is watching agricultural exports to China collapse to their lowest levels in nearly a decade, Canada is securing an off-ramp. Instead of all-caps diaper-filled social media rants at 3 in the morning, Carney negotiated. China agreed to slash retaliatory tariffs on Canadian canola seeds from 85% to 15%, reopening a $4 billion market. And it doesn't stop there. The deal also lowers tariffs on lobsters and crabs, meaning fishermen benefit too. While American farmers stare down losses in a $24 billion soybean market, Canadian producers head into spring planting with a locked-in multi-billion-dollar commitment from the world's second largest economy. Quick clarification for anyone confused about canola. It's the seed harvested from the rapeseed plant, unfortunate name, and crushed into canola oil, something China uses heavily in its own processing plants. So they are buying the raw seeds and processing it there. And since we're talking about oil,
and we would have been Venezuela on steroids, and we're bringing Venezuela back, and we're going to be great for Venezuela, great for our country. We're taking in, as I said, millions and millions of barrels of oil, and now they're coming in initially on a daily basis, 50.
These numbers aren't just Trump nonsense rattled off for Fox News window lickers that will lap up the stupid Kool-Aid. They are physically impossible. Total global oil production is roughly 102 to 106 million barrels per day. Trump is claiming that one country whose infrastructure is currently in shambles is suddenly producing half of the entire planet's oil supply. The 50 million figure he keeps throwing around isn't daily production at all. It refers to a one-time transfer of stored, sanctioned oil. That's it. To visualize how absurd 50 million barrels a day actually is, one barrel holds 42 gallons. 50 million barrels would fill more than 3,000 Olympic swimming pools. Trump is effectively claiming that every single day, a fleet of tankers is delivering over 3,000 swimming pools worth of oil. To make that happen, the U.S. would need a nonstop arrival of the world's largest super tankers, roughly 25 a day, lined up end to end. Those ships would stretch more than 5 miles. There isn't a port on Earth that could physically process that volume, and this imaginary operation would somehow fall to Secretary Sean Duffy. Yes, the same guy telling exhausted moms to do chin-ups at the airport and passengers to dress snazzy when they can't afford to check a bag.
And you denied Canada the Stanley Cup for the 32nd straight year by... I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Matthew? We have a little competition with Canada. No, they're great people, though. They're great people. We're doing much better than Canada, but that's okay, right? We want them to do well, and they're going to do well.
If you're wondering why half of those guys were stone-faced, it's because half of them are from Canada. Now, it's kind of disappointing that none of those fellas stepped forward or called out. I mean, for a sport of tough guys, this was your chance, and you blew it. They also gave Trump this hockey stick, and you know Melania will use it to keep him away when he's trying to creep on her on the VD veranda. Jesus is Donald J. Trump, the greatest leader who was brave enough to bring peace to Middle East, put God in school, protect the amendments, and build a border, stop the foreign wave from polluting the country. And you are trying to destroy his achievements, and we will not stand for it. Get help. Seriously, there is so much stupid to unpack here, and I can't even go in for a deep dive because you've got such a tiny mind. But if Donald J. Trump is Jesus, why did the blue-eyed slapdash painting done right in front of him, Mar-a-Lago, look nothing like him? It looked more like a bearded Melania. MAGA tears. Tommy Campbell losing your man card. I'm losing it? So I haven't lost it yet? So you're telling me there's a chance? I didn't even know I was issued one. I guess it wasn't that important to me. But what do I have to do to keep it? Grow a goatee, throw on some Oakleys, a tap-out shirt, and listen to Joe Rogan in a black Dodge Ram while coal-rolling people on their bikes? Is that what satisfies you? I mean, other than your cousin. MAGA tears. Is it just me, or is the Trump administration getting all their slogans from old Peter Peter Noth? My contributions: convict courtyard, diaper deck, diaper den, ballsack, neck skin balcony. There isn't a port on Earth that could physically process that Valium. I need a Valium. It's been a week. Or Melania's favorite, the VD version. I don't know if that one is her favorite.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.